Okay. Two, two, two. And there we go. Oh my goodness. Hello, everybody. Hardee's. We're here again. It is the end of the season 13 discussion. I keep saying that, season 13. I'm like, it's a good number. And I'm so happy to be here. And of course, you guys were asking for it. And I look forward to it every season we do this. It's a tradition, and we like traditions. I like traditions. And I'm so glad because he is on the road. So I'm glad he was able to stop through and he's going to sit with us and we're going to talk. My friend, my family member, Brian Bird.
James, so great to be with you, brother. And I, it's like Groundhog Day for us, right?
So yeah, we start up again. We get smiles on our faces, and we made a little hole
Yes.
in there, but we're working it out. We're still working it out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We got plenty left in the tank. Let's keep going.
Yes, we do. I'm going to be here. I'm not going anywhere. So, folks, we are here. It's the When Comes Hard After Show here on JLJ Media. We're going to discuss season 13 overview. Maybe I get some stuff out of him about 14, maybe. I don't know. Or Hope Valley 1874, but we'll see. But he's here to discuss. And as we always say, it's an open discussion, open chat. You in the chat room can talk. You can make comments. Of course, please be respectful. And if you have some questions, I might take some questions out of there because sometimes you guys cover some good stuff. You know, we try to catch everything or watch these episodes. But we had a really good season, and I'm just really so happy to be here. You can watch all of my episodes. They're out there on JLJ Media YouTube. I call the granddaddy of them at this point. YouTube, JLJ Media. And if you want to listen, because our voices are great, you can go to any audio streaming service platform and just look for When It Comes to Hard After Show. You can listen to it and hear us talk about this and all the other reactions. I did every episode this season,
Mm.
every season. So check those out if you want to know what's going on. So first of all, I want to say congratulations on another successful season.
Thank you, James. No, it feels so good about how it all went down, and Michael and I could not be prouder of this show after all these seasons. It. I don't think there's too many shows where you could say at this deep into the run, into the legacy of the show, that it feels like it's getting better, right? I've been on two other shows that went 9 seasons,
I know.
and
Yeah.
right by the time you get to that sort of the last few seasons or so, you sort of feel like, okay, well, we're starting to wind down. It feels like we're winding down. Feels like we've sort of left it all on the field, and maybe it's time to quit and give up and finish it out. We're not going there. We do not feel that at all. Not with the epic storytelling that happened this year.
Well,
So thank you.
but Brian, here's the thing. So there have been shows like a Bonanza
Yeah.
or On Order that do go past 20 seasons. And you made the joke years ago. See you at season 20. You said it. And we're at 14. I'm like, that ain't that far away, Brian Bird.
Yeah, we'd be in the last quarter of a football team, if football game, if we were if we were
Right.
playing football. So, but we don't want to call any the end at all. Like, let's just keep rolling as long as people keep loving it and they don't get tired of it. And the Hardys seem to, you know, it seems to be like Turkish delight. In Chronicles of Narnia for Edmund. Uh, it just feels so good, and I feel that way too, and I'm part of it. So I feel like I can't get enough of this show. And so we'll keep doing it. We will keep going.
We'll be here at season 20. Come on, Brian. Remember we said, I'm telling you, you just mentioned one of my other favorite series, Chronicles of Narnia. That's another story about that. I read all the books. I was a huge, let me start on that one. But no, but you're right. I think one of the things that you guys did that's helping perpetuate a growing story was that you had a wider range of characters and situations. I think, and the town started small, and then you're able to grow every season as the
Yeah.
years. So I mean, so you kind of set it up to go as it can continue because some shows have a beginning, middle, and end. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
yours doesn't have to end, not really.
Well, it's a cornucopia of possibilities on a show like this because it started out as a community. It's a show about a community, right? And when you have a world that's built that way and a premise, honestly, for a series that's built that way, it's endless possibilities because you bring new people to town, like you bring guests, you bring visitors, and they fuel wonderful material in and around all your stars. And we hear, sometimes we'll hear, from some people like, oh, it goes too this show's too short, or we need more episodes, or you know, and like we want more of the storylines. We have more of our actors, more of our stars, and we get it. Like it's like a master class in how to do a show for Joy Gregory and David Gray and our amazing writing team. Uh, to to create honestly a matrix, a story matrix that can somehow give you satisfaction about the main characters. And then in the case of Hope Valley this year, a whole nother community moves in. Right? Right? You have like all these refugees, fire refugees
Yes.
from Benson Hills, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, how do we service all these people? Like it's just there's no time. There's not enough time. But yet somehow by bringing people together, bringing Hope Valley and the Benson Hills characters together, you you find ways to do it, right? And everybody's character arcs continue growing and building. So I'm so proud of how that all went down. Like, you go, how do we, our problem is like, how do we give all of our characters enough material to to keep people happy, keep the Hardys feeling good, and then we drop a bomb on them like a whole nother community, just onslaught of new people, and yet it worked.
It did.
And I don't think too many people felt robbed of like sufficient interaction with our main stars.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah. No, yeah, yeah. I want to say hi to the chat that are watching. And my girl Jeanette, I just saw you a few days ago. They're like, hey, we're at Bob's Big Boy. Pia, Barbara, you guys are regulars. Thank you so much, Sherry. They're all just saying they love the season. They're saying they love the season. And the tradition continues. Yes, it does. I have actually
yes,
have a logistical question for you, Brian,
yeah,
because
yeah,
I am curious about this because the town is growing. I mean, we're seeing. I mean, you literally every season there's like something new going on. So I know you can't talk about like specific contracts or anything like that in real life, but I'm just
yeah.
curious because it's on a farm. It's on an actual place that's used and owned by people. Are you able to work with them every season to like make it big? How do you work that out?
Yes, art imitates life in an interesting way with When Calls the Heart. We're on the McInnes Ranch, the McInnes family who you've met, and they and it's the place that we're filming in, Hope Valley, is I think legally called the Jamestown Movie Ranch as part of the McInnes Farms. That's the name of their business operation that owns that town. And it is a working farm. It's 100, I think it's 141 acres or something like that. And it's a working farm. And that orchard,
It's for real.
tree orchard is an actual hazelnut orchard, that they to satisfy the zoning laws and policies of that part of British Columbia, Langley Township. To satisfy those laws, they actually have to create products, farming products, right?
Right, right.
So way over on the other side of the property, they now have they grow hops over there, and they have a craft beer operation, and that's all part of the farming of the land as well. So they're constantly, having to sort of keep up on all of those things. But what's beautiful about that is that it gives us rich production value, right? That hazelnut orchard is gorgeous,
Oh,
and
I know it
now
is.
that's right. It's great to look at, but it's also gives our characters storylines, right? That they can do and live in. So anyway, yeah. So the McKinnis's the way their business operation works with the township and the zoning, the rural zoning rules, is as long as they have real farming activities, it's fine for us to be there and coexist with them with the show. And so they want us to keep coming back, and it's been good for them and good for us for sure. It's a beautiful relationship.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I'm like, because I know, I mean, it's a real working. I mean, I know it's for real, so it's not just a
Yeah.
stage studio set. It's a for real. So I was wondering because you do see every season how bigger and bigger the town gets and different landscapes you guys are going to in different areas. I mean, we saw national parks, we saw all kinds of stuff this season. So I was wondering. So thanks for answering that. I was wondering about that. Just logistically, I'm like,
Yes.
you're able to go, yeah, I'm sure it's working well for them. I'm sure it is. I'm very happy. I'm very sure. The Benson Hills thing was very interesting. That whole storyline put a lump in my throat because I was like, the kid. Well, we're gonna get to that in a second, folks. We're gonna get to that. They're already talking in the chat like, we want to see Gwen more, of course, and
Yes.
Rupert, and let's see, because Rupert and which I can't even believe I'm saying this.
Opal.
I can't even. Oh, I can't. Brad's like one of my children. I can't even say it. I can't even say it. I'm like,
Yeah.
her with that brown bear, like all those. I'm like, I can't even like standing for her and Rupert a little bit. I'm like, what? I mean, for them to become friends, and who knows later on down the line. I'm like,
Right.
we're watching them grow up.
Yes. Yeah, the young love factor, when these young characters start to age in real life, which we all do, right? Uh, you have to find ways give them stories that are age appropriate for them. But it's a blessing in disguise because the young love factor is super cool for Hope Valley.
Yeah.
Between Allie and Ollie, which
See,
is a
that 5 times
cool,
fast. Ollie,
yeah.
Allie, and Ollie. Every episode say that again. Allie and Ollie. Oh my goodness, I love it.
So maybe we'll have some more of that growth for Rupert and Opal going forward. Who knows? But
Oh,
yeah, super good.
I've said from the very beginning, you always have found great children actors, and that's not always easy. You can find cute kids, that's one thing, but
Yeah.
they can actually act and pull the
Yes.
out of your eyes. Like you've always found them. You've had so many from Cody and the back in the day.
Oh,
You've always found them.
yes, indeed. It's a really fantastic, from a logistic standpoint for a show set, in a place like British Columbia in the Vancouver Metroplex there. We're about 45 minutes outside of downtown Vancouver in Langley, but it's drawing from that within that zone there. These incredible, talented kids. Two things about that. Uh, it's competitive to get them, right? To find the good ones who can actually, deliver for you from an acting standpoint and from a cute standpoint too. You want kids who just you fall in love with. Uh, so it's tricky to do because you're competing with all the other productions in the area. But one of the kind of the secret weapons that When Calls the Heart has is the families of those kids, those young people. they love having them perform on When Calls the Heart because of the kind of show it is.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
show for families, right? And you'd be surprised. These kids get all kinds of offers to act in very sort of edgy material.
Sure.
And, their parents are not crazy about that.
Yeah.
And so the fact that they know that they're going to be safe, that there's not going to be any, questionable material that we put them through, but also the sense of family the is renowned. The community of When Calls the Heart is a renowned community in Vancouver. So everybody wants to audition for our show. Uh, People coming from good homes, they
Right.
want part in on this.
Yeah.
So we have a bit of an edge over the people that are busting heads over there in Vancouver. So
So, folks at home, if you don't know this, Vancouver it's almost like Los Angeles, this huge industry town. So just know there's a lot. I mean, like Toronto's a little industry town in the other part of Canada, but like Vancouver, that whole area is really big. And I know some of those families. But nobody has
yeah,
met some, and they really are wonderful families, and we're all connected, and it's such a great thing. That makes sense. I never thought about it before. That actually kind of makes sense. Like their kids will be protected, safe. It's safe
yes,
material. So kudos to your casting people. I mean, I guess we give it to them because they're
yeah.
getting them.
Yes, they are. They've been the same folks that we've had all these years. So it's been super good, super helpful.
Same casting people this whole time. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
same ones. And they're also casting Hope Valley 1874. So same team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Candace Elzinga. And yeah, it's been
Wow.
super good. So you don't mess with what works, what ain't broken.
No, you don't. No, you don't. They broke those things. It's like I agree that completely. You leave it alone. But just
Right.
shout because casting is a big part of this, and I was like, this season we had several times where we looked back or reached back, which is a great thing to start doing when you're season 13. Uh,
Yes.
and just the references of Rosemary and Gowan. I was thinking these characters when they first started, like the storyline arcs for like those two characters
Right.
alone is
Right.
amazing.
Yes.
You could reference them with like with a smile on our faces, kind of, and a little funny stuff with it, but also move story. You did that with
Right.
Rosemary, that with Gowan, Sarah, like referencing their past to help.
Yes.
Isn't that great? That's great.
Love it. Love that. And I love how our writing team has such respect and verisimilitude with, like you said, the history that has preceded what is happening currently on the show, and those echoes of the past, looking back, reaching back, and picking up threads of stories, and now updating those stories, or honoring, for instance, Mountie Jack. Like he
Yes.
it's we've had 8 seasons now since Mountie Jack left us, right? Dan Lissing left the show. So, and yet he still echoes to this day through Little Jack, through Elizabeth, through the schoolhouse, you know, uh, and just the reverence that the show has for itself is, for me, is what makes it so rich. It's like a tapestry that, just continues being broadened, but yet you turn it over and it's all the same knots,
Right.
right? All
Right.
those knots are connected throughout the show. So I love that. And I say that to our writing team all the time when I have the chance to talk to them, is thank you for doing that, because there's not many shows. I've seen other shows that just basically ignore the past, the
Yes.
earlier seasons, right?
Yeah.
And they don't honor the earlier stories. And they'll even retcon, they'll retcon what they're doing now, based on, or from the earlier stories. So I love that so much. But on the Benson Hills, since you were talking about that side of the story, um, so good. We've got connections already through Maisie Hickam,
Oh,
right?
oh my God! I'll tell you. You talk. I got stuff to say about
But just the idea, okay, well, that neighboring town that we've dealt
it.
with over the years, and with Rosemary and the newspaper rivalry, and all of those things. Uh,
Yes.
that that's that town, and all of a sudden their town burns down, right? And our national park burns down, Goldie National Park. All of a sudden you have two towns that have to mesh, two cohorts of students that have to mesh in the schoolhouse, and politicians that have to mesh, and all of that. Families, who have to board with other families. I just, what a picture of what a community is supposed to be, right? That opens its arms to its neighbors in need. And I love that. I mean, who else does that on television? So,
I, I'm going to do a praising moment, and folks at home, please forgive me because I forgot the actress's name. My favorite new character this season was Maisie Hickam.
yes, yes.
That actress, I'm going to be serious. I'm going to tell you something. There were scenes that had me crying. Her acting, I know some of the stuff should be Emmy nominated stuff. Don't get me started on that also. As I'm an Emmy judge, I understand how this works. It's all the time politics, whatever. Some of her stuff literally for me was Emmy worthy. And her
Wow.
her stoicism and trying to be there for her people mixed with us learning more about Mikey through her. Also, her working with Lucas, working with Lee, like just trying, showing a little bit. Samantha Ferris, thank you, Samantha Ferris.
Yes.
I just think when she comes on screen, I'm like, I can't. I want to see what she's going to do as an actor. Also, I'm like, what's she
Right.
going to do? And folks, I'm saying this lovingly. I saw her out of costume the other day in a picture. I was like, oh my God, she's beautiful. I'm not saying she's not. I was saying that's literally, I was like, that's the same actress? Oh my God. I saw even more Emmy stuff should come in direction. I'm just telling you, Brian, for me, I love Edie. There's other new characters I like too. But I'm saying she was my favorite character of this.
Oh, love that.
I just
Yeah.
thought she did, I just want to make sure I say it out loud. Samantha Ferris, if you watched this, you did some great work. You just don't get noticed anywhere else. I just thought the way you guys wrote her, your writers, the way you wrote her, the direction of what her scenes, and even towards the end, I mean, her, being, and her and Hickam, like just telling her, like, hello, you know you
Yeah.
want this, and this is my set.
But buck
I
up, Buttercup.
yeah, I love that. I just tell you personally, I've been praising her all season, but I'm just saying, I just think I'm sad to see her go. If she's not, that's the overabundance we're getting with the Benson Hills. I just love her character.
Well, there's no reason for us not to have interaction with her in season 14, for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Well, she does.
Yeah.
Right. She has her brother and sister-in-law and
Right.
other. Yes, that's true. I'm just saying. I'm putting in my own order. I want some Maisie next season.
I
I
love
thought
it. Me too.
what a great character, and because it was such a sad story, and she could have been. I'm saying she could have been a one-note character. You guys
Right.
didn't like her that way. It was like
Right.
underneath that surface, she had to be strong to show them, but there was underneath that she cared. And that's
Yes.
what that's one. Yeah, I know she was. She was. I was just a huge fan of that very much.
Me too. Me too. Me too.
Um,
Super good.
and then Maisie for mayor, I know. And then we have Edie, another great character. Once again, when calls to heart, I said this from the very beginning. Write strong female characters. They don't just sit on the sidelines. They're not just the girlfriends. They're not just whatever. They're strong. I mean, we know how to
Yeah.
show, of course, the women and all that, but like you're still 13 seasons in. Now I have to ask you, this is tricky because of Lucas, and you guys touched on it, which I was very proud of you guys. You guys touched on it in his character, how
Yeah.
hard it was for him to. We saw the chemistry from the beginning. We saw it from the very beginning. Um, for you guys, I'm sure you guys had your meetings in the beginning, like you're mapping out the season or whatever.
Yeah.
how was that working out his storyline from the government, which are shocking, not being government anymore too, that too. How'd you kind of work out that storyline going into the season?
Yeah. So the conversation around Lucas and Edie, you know, our writers knew that they wanted to not make it too easy,
Okay.
right? And for Lucas, who has been burned,
Yes.
right? And all those Lucas fans, the Lucabeth fans out there who were felt robbed about all of that, understandably, we thought, why not show Lucas's take on that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I think we did incredibly elegant work a few seasons ago with Elizabeth realizing that she was playing it safe
Right.
in that relationship, and that we don't think if Jack, if for instance she had a conversation with Jack Thornton, he would say, in my mind, he would have said, "What are you doing?
Right.
Why, why are you letting your fear rule your decisions here? Fear of the future, right?" Well, that's exactly what happened with Lucas this year. He was burned, like, burn me once, burn me twice. It's on me, right? So he he was living out of fear with Miranda, with Edie's character, and she'd been burned too, right?
Yeah.
So
We found that out.
this
Yes.
right, we found that out. So we they were basically uh having PTSD, relationship emotional PTSD at the same time, right? And that's a super bad brew to base a relationship on. So when they were first, discussing those arcs at the top of the season, or in prepping the season, um, they said, because if it's too easy, these are beautiful people, they're powerful, they have important roles. He's the governor, she's an important lawyer in the community, but also in the whole area, respected. A power couple, to be sure. Let's give them real life relationship struggles.
Yeah.
And when we heard that pitch, we said, "Are you kidding? Absolutely. That's the Hope Valley way. If it's too easy, that's not the way to go." So, yes, break them up, right? Don't let it just flow too easily, because it was going that direction from the previous season. And now we drop a few bombs in between into their relationship. So I love how that all played out, and it was wonderful for those two actors, to
Yeah.
be able to, you know, uh, for Chris and Miranda to play it that way. So
But then
uh,
Brian, then you guys do that again. Great casting, you casting people. Then all of a sudden, this kind of swashbuckling Latino comes on, and we're like, we like him too. Like I was like, oh, where'd he come from? And I think him and Faith. That's what I was like. But no, but just another character that almost
yeah,
complicates things again. We're like, well, you guys at home, you liked him. I saw you guys online. All of a sudden, we like him.
yes, no, it was super. I think that the the sole reason for that arrival was for that movie, right? I think when the swashbuckling sort of character that we wanted to bring to the town, but we'd never, and it was so unexpected, right?
I'm
For this,
sure.
yeah. But I loved it, and who knows? Maybe he'll be back.
Everybody chat saying Fernando, Fernando. And I'm saying I saw because here's the thing, folks. You can write a story, you can even film it. You don't know something until you film something, and
Yeah,
then all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, there's lightning in a bottle. Oh my god, there's chemistry. Like there, sometimes you don't know, and then you don't even know again until the audience watches it. And
Yes.
you had gold. You have gold with that character, and literally he can pop in anytime. He can run through like whatever you want to do. I'm like, that character was such another strong supporting side character you threw in there.
Yeah. Fernando, and even the sort of the revelation of him and Faith in the contending in the movie. Again, art imitates life. And I've always been a huge Star Trek fan,
Yes, I
like
know.
from a boyhood. Like I'll watch anything they do in the Star Trek universe.
Yes.
Every season on Star Trek and even on Strange New Worlds and really all the series, all the different series iterations that they've had, there are these Grace Note episodes that pause the main storytelling in order to do something very fun. And Star Trek did this all the time. They'd have these Grace Note episodes that didn't really fuel or further the overall arc, but it would be some Shakespearean drama like they would pull out of nowhere. And that's what that movie was to
Okay.
me. And you earn the right to those kinds of episodes at this stage in a series
Like
where
that.
you can just have fun with it, put your leads in there, having Rosemary fire them from the production because they're not getting it. And then here comes Fernando swooping in, and all of a sudden, what a revelation this is. So I'm a big fan of all of that. It
That was
was
good.
so much fun.
Pia says, Brian, fellow Trekkie here. Yes.
Yes.
There. Another character that the chat is just chattering about. I mean, I was getting there, you guys. I'm getting to the character. We had a lot of great characters this season, so we're getting there. And I'll get to this character in a second, but I got to mention this one character for sure, though. And Michael Landon Jr. and I talked about this DMing online. We were on Instagram because I mentioned that
Yeah.
comment back and everything. And Melissa Gilbert.
Yes.
I'm like, I said it must be a trip because you have Melissa Gilbert on, who worked with your dad. Then your son comes on for an episode. And he's like, yeah, because it's like he said it was a trip. I'm like, that just must blow. I mean, that's a beautiful, like, I can't even say full. It's more than even full circle. It's just amazing that we're able to do
Yeah.
this is still around, so we can get her. That his son has grown up and wants to do it. Like it just, I know for him it was a joyous moment, but I got to tell you,
It was.
having Melissa on the show, I mean, we love Georgie. I mean, we just love it. I get another well-written character, and her and Jack Wagner just have amazing chemistry.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. No, it's such, and we probably talked about last year how we arrived at Melissa joining the show, but it's like it couldn't just have been a sort of a cup of coffee and see you later. Like that's a great character to bring back. So we knew we needed at least to bring her back for 6 episodes this season, uh, and it worked out great. It gives it that sort of mature, romantic relationship of people, sort of baby boomer category relationship in terms of their age was super cool, and gives all of our Hardys, all generations of our Hardys, this incredible, aspirational, you know, dynamic to the show. Um, Seeing a romance later in life for two people like that is wonderful. And excuse me. And so Melissa's fantastic. And it's an echo to, obviously, to the legacy of Little House on the Prairie. We know that. It's very intentionally, as I probably said last year, for Michael to be able to merge the Hardys with the Bonnets, or whatever they call the fans of Little House on the Prairie, um, was super cool, because he wants for all those fans to know there's a like a new generation legacy happening, right? And it's the way, like I talk about Star Trek. I watched that when I was a kid, right? The original show. I'm still watching it now.
Yeah.
Like they have a new generations of storytelling.
Yeah.
And why would we not try that with Little House on the Prairie sort of being the inspiration for When Calls the Heart? It truly is. Like Michael's experience with that and wanting to carry on the legacy of his dad. And now Austin Landon, his son, coming on and showing up in a red serge jacket. How sweet was that?
I know it was amazing, and I just gotta tell folks, when when I was pitched the first season of the show by I saw her today, Marissa Serafini. She says hello. We're still very good friends, and I saw her
Love
today.
it.
She said to me, James, there's a movie and called When Calls the Heart, and it's a show just started, and she said, you like Little House on the Prairie, right? I love that show. That's how she sold it to me. And she goes,
Right.
not that exactly, but I think you'll watch these first two episodes, and I was hooked. So for me,
Yeah.
seeing her on it, plus I've interviewed Maul Ingalls, I've interviewed several folks from that cast on this channel.
Right. Right.
So again, it was like it's merging my worlds. I remember that. I was watching that when I was a kid. So for me, it was a great, just visually, and probably sentimentally, it was like a great,
Yeah.
like you said, for us older folks. That we, oh yeah, she's great. She's a legend. She's a TV legend. I mean, come
Yes.
on, come on.
Well, and you know, Michael and Leslie Landon, his sister, went to a big 50th
Yes,
anniversary,
yes,
two years ago now. There were 20,000 fans that showed up 50 years after, right? Later from the Little House, the origins of Little House on the Prairie. And oh my gosh, think about for us, like with our Hardee's fan, army, how cool would it be if like 50 years later we'll all be gone? I'll be gone. But
I'll be gone
like
too. I'll be here either. I know I'll be gone too. Yeah,
what
exactly.
what what if it lives on like that? In even it that show only went 9 years.
I know.
Now that was a full order show on a big network, so they had 207 episodes. But still, like that it still causes people joy 50 years later. And I pray When Calls the Heart can become that for other people. What a beautiful legacy for all of us who've been participating in this to know that we made an impact that way.
I agree, and it's funny because and thank you, Hardys, for always calling me one of the OG Hardys. I am one of the OG.
Yes.
I am. Thank you. I'm very proud of that. And I've educated my friends and family who don't watch the show. They know who Hardys are. They do know who the Hardys are. I remember HFR2, and I'll never forget this memory because this show can be that big in person. Folks, you didn't go to this. Marissa and I are running a little late. We get there. As the first opening day, everybody's sitting in the big auditorium room. And we got there you guys had just started. We came in the back, like we were going to sneak in and find a seat. And then I forgot to say, yelled at us, it's James and Marissa from AfterBuzz TV. And then everybody, was it like 1,000 people or 1,500? Like, that was one of the biggest ones. It was
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, it was big. Yeah.
And it's all over the world. People from all over the world. We met so many people from all over the world there. And we looked, and I remember telling her, oh my God, this is for real. Like, this is for real. She was, I know. She's free in the front. So we're like walking down this little runway, and everybody's like waving and taking pictures. I'm like, hi. I saw the magnitude of what this show can become. So I have no doubts that 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now, you could get 20,000 people. I would not be surprised. If at the right location, the right pricing, the right everything, you could.
Yeah.
I saw it at several HFRs where there were lots of people, I mean, like from all over the world. It's like the show
Right.
already has an impact. Already.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's such a blessing for all of
Okay.
us.
two characters. People, I know, folks. You guys, I'm going to mention them right now. So I'm going to do the first. I'm going to save one for later, but this one first. What a great find in the little actress who plays Gwen,
Alex.
and Alex, and that story.
Yes.
I interviewed my girl. Everybody knows my big crush, Pascal Hutton. I interview her every year. And I remember a couple years ago when she was pregnant with Goldie. I mean, not she, the character's pregnant with Goldie. Yeah. The whole motherless mother thing. And we had a great discussion on my show about that. I thought, how funny 2 years later, she's a surrogate. Even though it took a while, kind of a surrogate mother to this child who was kind of looking at Lee because he was a father. I loved all of it, Brian. I think the writing was so. And I'm telling you, last episode, I was sobbing like a baby. Sobbing. She gave Rosemary the blank frame.
Yes.
For next adventure. Because that goes back to when she was looking at the wall and about when they showed her first like flyer or whatever, and she's like, and she asked her, "Do you miss that life?" I love. Right. I mean, the writers did such a good job with all of that.
Yes.
Tell us about Alex and that whole Gwen story, because we never met her father. We never met her father. You guys did it off camera. That whole fishing, that whole thing was beautiful. Also, that whole storyline.
Yeah. No, I'm partial to stories of adoption and also foster kids, foster care. I'm very partial to those kinds of stories. And the fact that we've done it multiple times, right? It doesn't get old, right? Does not get old. Every kid needs a champion. Right. This is in my view, and I'm right. So I'm right. Every kid needs a champion. Sometimes it can be their own parents, but sometimes that doesn't work because of circumstances, right? Or family challenges or whatever. They need a champion. And Gwen needed a champion to come alongside her and help her through her loss. It's symbolic with the letting the balloons go and putting the loss in a little scroll and letting it go to heaven, right? I love that. And so all of that was super powerful to me with Lee and Rosemary. And yes, the father-daughter connection. Lee has a little Goldie, but now this is an older child. And, my own wife, Patty, was a foster kid when she was growing up. So these stories resonate deeply with me. And so it just is under the sort of meta-narrative of community wins, right? And love wins, community wins. And I think this is a show that does it better than anybody has ever done it. And I've gone back and looked. I love Little House too, but I've gone back and looked at it, and there was some darkness about that show sometimes. They dealt with some pretty dark stuff on that show, right? And not everybody did everything the right way all the time. And so our show is like that sometimes too. We've got some unresolved issues that we got to figure out, next season probably.
Oh, there's one. I got this one.
Yeah,
I got later.
I know that's coming. I love that. But this is the absolute value of this show is teaching the world or role modeling for the world what a community should be, not what it is, right? Because a lot of times the bar is lowered to, okay, well, it is what it is. You hear that said all the time. It is what it is. Yeah, but it's not how it should be. What is not how it should be. And we try to let When Calls the Heart preach that. Like, here's what it should be. It's not perfect, but here's what it should aspire to be, what a community should be. And Gwen's right in the wheelhouse of that. The whole Benson Hills thing is right in the wheelhouse of that, and represented beautifully by little Alex. I mean, that little girl. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
we were counting the cries last night with that story.
I saw you
Like,
doing that. I saw you did
yeah,
that.
on X, there was every 3 minutes or so I was getting a cry. You
Oh,
know, on Walker Texas Rangers, way back in the day with Chuck, God rest his soul.
no, Chuck
Uh,
Norris. Oh my God, don't be silent.
yeah, but I almost did an episode of that back in the day. I almost wrote an episode of that back in the day. I came this close to writing an episode, and what the producer said to me is, now about every 10 minutes on the show, somebody's got to get their butt kicked. Like that was the rule, right?
Yeah, God,
Well,
yeah.
on our show, about every 3 minutes, you gotta tear up. I think that's the way last night was. Like this whole season to me was like that. Like,
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And folks out there, rest in peace to Chuck Norris, who's just, I mean, talk about an American icon. And my brother and I were saying how he was multi-generational. He crossed color lines. He crossed everything. Like he was the man. I mean, it's just crazy.
yes,
He was like the man. And I knew you had a little semi path with him. So that's funny.
yes,
And I also just want to mention briefly too. I interviewed Todd Bridges, and so he was like growing up for me. He was the big brother I didn't have or whatever. I just thought
right.
he was on Little House. Speaking of, he was in a
That,
very
little, that's right.
Little House.
That's right.
We talked about it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
It's a very interesting. They use words that I didn't know about at first until I saw it on TV. I was like, oh, they went like this show. You guys go there, and they went there also, and
Yeah.
it didn't wrap up neatly like you said on that in that one either. But this show I like is that some things don't wrap up neatly, and I'm gonna bring up one right now because we're doing all the
Right.
kudos. I got to bring something up right now, and I saw the
Yeah.
chance, and I defended him because a pastor is not perfect.
Right.
A pastor shares the word of God. A pastor's job is to seek knowledge and and pass on to the community, but also human. And I know, folks, that we got to talk about this. I'm a father. You're a father. I get it because when you guys wrote the storyline that the kids could be responsible for this, my heart dropped. Like I was like,
Right.
they're doing what? Like I did not expect that. That was real. So I want to hear about that. How you got to that part? And we love Toby and we love everybody. But Joseph, I know it's a big thing. Not shaking that. If that's the only big thing we have this season, that's good.
Right.
Not shaking the hand of Christopher, but he explains it to his son afterwards when he has that talk. You're a better man than I. He says that to him. I'm so proud of you. Like so when he did. So he did teach something to his son. When his son says to servant back, like, but folks are mad about that, Brian. So what say you?
I love just like with Henry's a continual unfolding, unpeeling of that onion every season. That's the richest vein in the whole show to me, to be
Oh, I
honest.
know.
Right? So, and it's related to this because Christopher is his son.
Yes.
So, did you see how Henry reacted to the fact that there was this breach, the unrepaired breach between Pastor
They're
Joseph?
close too, folks. There's a
Right,
friendship. Joseph and Henry have a
right,
friendship.
right. He he represented grace under
Yes.
fire, right? Henry did.
I know.
Henry represented,
I know.
right?
Yes.
He had no problem taking a picture of the Canfield family out front of Minnie's cafe, right? So he's smiling.
Right.
He's gracious, even though there's been a breach that happened between him and between Pastor Joe and his son. So I love the messiness of that, and we don't get messy that much on too messy like on When Calls the Heart. Like it's always been, if you're gonna get a mess, you got to clean it up quickly, right? Right. And here we got something we got to clean up next season, right? We leave it unresolved. which I'm good with. I actually love that. You talk about, he's a man, he's a father. He is reacting as we all might, right?
Right.
Just because he's a pastor doesn't mean that he's not a human being and doesn't have to go through the same sense of loss and the same sense of like stress. Uh, Last time I checked, Peter, the apostle
Yes.
of Jesus,
Yes.
denied him 3 times,
2 times.
right?
He
And
did.
yet that was the man that the church, he was the rock. He built the church, basically.
Yeah.
So to me,
I know.
that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
That's
I'm with.
exactly what we're talking about.
I
And
yeah. I'm with you. I mean, I'm with you.
yeah, and look, my own pastor for 25 years lost his own son to suicide. And he had to deal with some pretty heavy stuff with people criticizing him for the fact that he could even have a son, could be the father of a son who would go there,
Oh,
right?
that
Mental illness, right, is a real thing.
is.
So, but pastors have to, they have to deal with our messes. What happens when they have a mess, right? You
Yeah.
got you got me good. I'm all over that kind of storytelling, and that's what When Calls the Heart again needs to do from time to time. Not keep it, not clean up the mess on aisle 3 that quickly. Let it sit a while and let people figure out what's best. And like you said, he talked to his own son. I'm not there yet. You're a
Right.
better man than me.
Yep.
I'm struggling with this. He's transparent with his son. And check this out. Henry gives grace to Pastor Joe, even though Pastor Joe didn't shake his son's hand and when he asked for forgiveness. Well, repentance, you can forgive, but you don't forget. Like trust, you can forgive and still not trust somebody because
Right.
of what they've done to you,
I agree with
right?
that.
So I think it's rich, and I think that for Henry, it took Henry a long time to understand forgiveness.
I agree with that.
He couldn't get it through his thick head that people would actually forgive him. He locked himself in a jail cell
I agree with that. Yes.
several seasons ago because he felt guilty, felt this sense of shame and guilt. It required the people to come and forgive him multiple times before it finally sunk in. Well, check it out. It might take, uh, Christopher is the apple doesn't fall far from the tree there. He didn't do the right thing. Yes, he was afraid, but he didn't lean into the people that cared about him that could protect him, right? He chickened out, he ran away. And that caused a potential life altering event for other people. So he needs to understand that forgiveness, right, can be given, but you still have to earn trust back.
With respect. Yeah. And the thing that's great about this story, like, too, is that Henry saw himself in his son. And they had one conversation where his son tried to throw back in his face. Oh, yeah, like, now you're. And Henry stayed calm. He was like, you're right. I mean, you're totally like, it's almost like that has nothing to do with it. But yeah, you're right. So don't do what I like. Don't be like me.
Right, right.
Know this. Yeah, I did this. I'm not trying to try and give you, tell you what to do, but I'm just giving you some wisdom. Like, don't be like me. Don't do the choices I made.
Right.
So you're right. You should be upset about that stuff. Like, we get it. Like, I mean, as parents, we're not perfect. Stuff goes down, and sometimes things
Yeah.
get, but we do the best we can. But I think I just love that you're right. He's at a place of understanding now. Those hazelnut trees or whatever, they're calming for him. They're like he's good. Like he's hanging out. He's good. Good. Calming him down.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't, but I don't. So fans, we talked about it, got out there, but I said I was defending him in the sense that I know usually Lee is the shady one all the time, gets mad at Luke as they fight for a few episodes, but I think this is good because this is a more this is a richer story for him and Gowan also next season, and how they're gonna really come together. And
Yeah.
just watch the show, folks. Don't work it out. This is when calls to heart. Don't work it out for you. Definitely will. Now I have something I have a small bone to pick.
Okay, let's do it.
Weekends. So on the last episode, I don't know. I don't like heights myself. He knows what I'm talking about. So I have a little problem with LJ climbing up there on it. I don't care if he was tied to a harness or whatever. I was nervous the whole time he was up there.
Yeah, my palms were sweating during that whole thing too, like watching that. I have a phobia of that too. Not for my I don't get afraid of heights myself, but when I see others who could make a mistake,
That's what it is.
right, and hurt themselves. I took my own kids to when they were younger, we went to Grand Canyon, and I was a nervous wreck. I was forcing them. They had to walk on the inside of the walkway, not even get to that little 2 foot lip.
I've been there. I know I've been there. I know.
Right? Yeah, yeah. It was like you could trip over that thing and be down, fall 5,000 feet.
Yes.
So anyway,
I
I'm with
felt
you
that.
on that.
I felt that, brother Brian. I felt that, and I was like,
I do too. I did too.
How did they do this?
I did too. But but what great TV to do,
Yes.
right? Yes, because getting our show makes people comfy most of the time, right? But every once in a while, I think you gotta give people just push them out of their comfort zone a little bit, right? You know that on a show like this, he would never fall off,
Yeah,
right?
it made me nervous the whole time. I was like,
But I'm with you. I'm with you. But what a great setup for what happened later,
hey, yes.
right?
I'll give it to you, brother Brian. But I was like, I feel like an old person. Like, get that camera. Don't do that. I didn't serve the story, Mr. Bird. I understand that. I was like, I wasn't that happy about that part. That made me a little nervous.
Yes.
Which is good stuff. And I'm saying all with tongue in cheek, of course. We got to mention Brooke Shields. Now, speaking of Emmy-worthy work, those scenes at the grave, because I kept thinking that's why she never goes. She doesn't go over. She doesn't go over there. And with her and Nathan, and then the part where when he's kneeling down and she puts her arm on his shoulder for a second, we catch everything on the show, right? We catch everything.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Sorry. On a side note, Erin was up there too, and she's pregnant. Kevin said to be hold on to the side. That's pretty funny. I was like, that can nurse for them too. I was like, that's crazy.
They were all harnessed in, and you know who just behind the scenes, who was really afraid of heights is Kevin.
See, folks, you're right. You saw it then. He was scared. Okay.
Kevin had no interest in being up there. Like it was like, I don't know. I don't know about this. So we had our stunt folks like harness those people in so good. And they actually rebuilt that platform and made it completely safe. They widened it a little bit so that there was be a little more room for margin for error there. So anyway, they were safe. They were safe.
That's fun. That's funny, you guys. You caught that. Okay. So the whole situation.
Brooke Shields. Yeah.
Shields of Charlotte coming back.
Yep.
And then kind of she's kind of one of the conduits to Nathan kind of being kind of welcomed, because we don't see Elizabeth's parents. They're not there.
Right.
He's Jack's only parent that's left. We saw his brother, a while back, but she's not parents. And so it's kind of like he has no father to ask for her hand, and like you guys weren't doing that. It was almost like he's asking Jack if this is okay, which
right.
his own story. We all know about that with that. So I love that Charlotte was kind of the conduit to that, but she got healed too.
Mm-hmm.
Great story. Just talk about this about that.
I'm with you on Emmy worthy acting. She left her whole heart out there on that field, right?
Yeah.
Brooke Shields herself.
Oh,
That
okay.
was incredible. Like it was cold for one,
Okay.
right? So it helped.
So it's
But
like,
they were, she was shuddering when she went through that. And she was living the loss of her little boy. That whole episode was just rich for me.
oh,
Uh,
yeah,
but yes, and it's just a tip of the cap again to our writing staff. They did it. They did some amazing turns emotionally for us this year. Uh, Pairing them up for different reasons, having to talk to Jack,
yes,
right? Because Nathan has his own past that
yes,
he has to
right,
deal
yeah,
with,
right.
like feeling partially responsible for Jack's death, and that Jack took his place, right?
Yeah,
So having to now go and ask his blessing on being able to propose to Elizabeth is really Shakespearean. Like that, like it's very Shakespearean.
yes,
And so to couple those two, that odd couple emotionally,
yeah,
right? Uh, and yet to have them minister to each other
yes,
and help each other through that process,
yes.
just just uh bravura performance.
The chat is just going. Charlotte and Nathan scenes together extraordinary. Brooke Shields absolutely broke me in that graveyard scene. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Honestly, that scene alone, just like. But even the
yeah.
scenes leading up to it, and just, I mean, you could just tell it's like we're gonna go to Jack's funeral. She's just like, oh, okay.
The, yeah, the power of Jack Thornton lives on, right? The power of that loss continues all these years later
Yes,
in such a rich way. Like that's just phenomenal to me.
yes.
And what that reminded me of, the raw emotion of that scene reminded me of the raw emotion of season 5 for Aaron Krakow
I
when
remember.
she, right when she put on that clinic, and that anguish that
Yeah.
we heard from that wail that we
Oh,
heard from her. I saw that. I heard that wail again in that moment for Charlotte at that grave. So it's just is so good. Like we don't, you know, look, When Calls the Heart is a sentimental show. We work, in this business that is not sentimental.
right,
The We're never going to get the hardware that other shows are going to get, but it's not that I don't think we deserve it.
right.
I worked on Touched by an Angel, right? It got one Emmy award in 9 seasons,
That's,
and it went to and it right and it went to Shirley uh uh Sean Astin's mom.
oh my God, what, like,
What am I'm just blanking out. I'm sorry. She was a guest star on the show. She played Helen Keller, that one.
Patty Duke, Patty Duke.
Patty Duke. So Patty Duke won an Emmy for her role on Touched by an Angel. One Emmy
Right.
in 9 seasons of that show. We don't get the respect of the business, of the industry, of our peers, because it's schmaltzy, it's sentimental, right? We get it for edgy. We push boundaries. That all of that is such nonsense and BS to me. Personally, I'm letting my hair down a little bit, but
Oh, man, I agree.
we deserve some respect for some of this. Some, not all, but some. Some of the storytelling is absolutely deserving of attention in that way.
I agree. And folks, you can watch. There's a series that came out this year that had one of the episodes was Touched by an Angel, and Mr. Brian Bird was interviewed for it. I was like, I know him.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to do
Yeah,
that,
that
to
was
be
like,
honored. Yeah,
and
to
then
be
you're
honored in
part of
that
it. So I
way.
go, oh my God, I was wondering if you were going to be in it. I mean, and there he is, Brian Burke.
That
In there. So
was-
yeah, it was
yeah,
a 7-part series. They did important shows on this network, and that show
TV,
was
it was called TV We Love. It was on the CW and across the Paramount in the Paramount family. Yeah.
yes. So
Yeah, I was honored to be asked to do that.
yeah, I was like, here's last guy, I know him. And I was like, I know Brian Bird. But no, that's and I agree with you on that. There's all so when it comes to awards, and it's all kinds of politics. Um,
Yeah.
Now it's a small thing, but a large thing. And I'm just really curious, um, was that how this came up in the writers' room, or just kind of or producers? LJ, not Jack, not little Jack anymore, but is it because he's getting older? Just basically, just that basic, or is there a symbolism in there somewhere?
Yeah, I think he wants to uh distinguish himself. Um and I think it's also about feeling the limited by the diabetes. Right? He
Yes.
doesn't get to do everything that everybody does. He wants to be recognized. He's not a tiny little sprite anymore. He's starting to grow up, right? He's still little, but you know, that's a self-esteem issue for kids who get called nicknames that make them feel small,
I do
right?
understand.
That that's what it's about. Like, you're making me feel small. I already feel small because I have this disease that limits me.
Yeah.
So can I not get past the little aspect of it? So that was what was discussed. Those kinds of dynamics are what were discussed by the writers.
As a person who's James Lott Jr. and who was Jamie, little Jamie, or Junior, I turned 14 and said, I am James.
Right.
Because my father was either he was Jim or Big James, whatever. But I was like, I am not Jamie or Junior anymore. And, and most people turned over to it. It was a little hard for them. But then here's the funny part, Brian Bird. When I became a grandfather, what am I? Papa Jamie.
There you go.
There you have
There
it.
you go.
But no, so
Yep.
I understand that part. And I always talk to other juniors or the thirds or say that we know what it's like. I mean, you want your own. I'm proud to be part. I mean, I'm proud to be a junior, but also I want my own
Yeah.
identity. It does
Right.
happen when it comes to names and nicknames. That is very important.
Right.
That
Right.
is.
That's right. 100%.
Um, so okay, as we start to wrap this up, this has been great. I have just a couple of things I want to mention because we can't even go forward because of two things happened at the end. And the one thing that happened at the end, I thought that was the end. I thought, okay, that's what's going to happen. Sure. So we have our engagement finally.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
relaxed now. The engagement has happened. It was cute. It made sense. So Nathan and Elizabeth are now engaged.
Yes. Yes. Well, we like to milk things on this show, especially with regard to courtship and romance and all of that. Um, and I've said in the past, it took us 5 seasons to get Jack and Elizabeth together, right? And then we ripped them away, like at the end of that season. But it did take 5 seasons to get them married.
Yeah.
I think they got married in episode 7 of season 5, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Yeah.
And so, we take our time.
Yeah.
And I get that it's frustrating for people, but part of the calculus, I think, for us on these things is uh for one, like, you don't want to burn off the proposal in the middle of a season, right? So once you get going on a season and you're building to an escalation into to a climax, well, in this case, the main relationship, the main romance is, you know, Jack and Nate, or Elizabeth and Nathan. So that was gonna be the end. Like, how do you
Right.
not
Yeah.
make that the end? So now, how we string it along as part of the art form of, you know, frustrating him, getting him, you know, making him get a ring size, you know, that was massive fun to me of all the hoops that he had to go through, right, to figure this out.
And
And then,
the comedy team of Father
yes,
and Daughter. Who
father
knew that?
daughter was
And
super good.
oh my
Yeah.
God, hilarious.
Yeah, usually this is a surprise that is sprung on the audience. It's a surprise that is sprung on the other characters. But in this case, pretty much the whole town knew it was going to
Right.
happen.
I know, right?
Right, right.
Right.
They're all like part of the conspiracy. Ned Yost is in on it. Bill is in on it, right?
Right. Right.
Brooke Shields is in on it.
Yes.
Allie is in on it. You know, he has to like he's like he's trying to build this whole plan, and he engages all these other people because he's clearly un unprepared, not schooled in how you do these things, right? And yet he had to finally relax and go, I'm just going to let it happen, right? Because there were a few times when it was, I thought, you know, for the audience, there's a guy like, come here, Elizabeth, let's go talk quietly over here in the alley,
It's just
right?
like,
Like,
time, time.
yeah, and he's gonna get the ring out in the little space between two buildings or in an alleyway or whatever. Like, no, it had to be epic. It had to be the pinnacle of the show. So how do you do a pinnacle of the show? It's up on the water tower that we had set up with LJ. So it's perfect. It's a perfect way to get there. And he finally took a deep breath and said, I'm not going to worry about it. It'll happen when it happens. Right.
Great
And
lesson.
then Elizabeth says, hey, let's go up the ladder. It's so great. And you know what else is great? Not just the fact that he had the cahoots of the other people with him, right? Audience participation. The audience was in on the joke from the beginning. That's perfect. The audience is sitting there rooting for this to happen. That's really good storytelling. Audience participation, when the audience knows something's going to happen,
I agree.
and you get them sort of leaning in themselves, like, do it now, do it now. Like it's amen corner, like you're used to. Like in a black church, everybody's talking back to the pastor,
Yes.
right?
That's the
Well,
exciting part. That's the fun part. Hello.
preach it,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
The audience is doing that this whole season.
Yes.
The audience is shouting at their screen, do it, dude, do it.
Right.
I love that. I love that so much.
I kept saying that that's the whole point is that you're supposed, as an audience, you're supposed to be frustrated because you're waiting for it. So you know it's going to happen. But I said, we wouldn't have got the hijinks of father and daughter, though. To me, that was a revelation. Just like,
Yes.
hilarious. Like, they were like working it out. So I said, that's the fun part. So you were supposed to be upset and kind of like, come on, what's Lady waiting for?
Oh, it was just so smart. It was such a smart way to do it from a perspective of engaging the audience in the best way possible. And even like with Ned, like he goes in the mercantile and he locks the door behind him. Like he's got this secret mission he's on with
so
Ned.
so
and
excited.
and he basically threatens Ned with his life if he leaks this, right? So it was lots of humor, laughs ahoy, but it ends up like perfectly, right? We also had to rival Lucas taking her up in that hot air balloon.
That's right. Okay, I didn't think about that. Okay, you're right.
Okay, so when you're trying to top, if it's just really small, like it's a small little thing, he goes to her house and hands her the ring. That's nothing. That's not interesting. This at least rivals the balloon. They're up high. They get to see the world, right? Anyway, you get it.
I get it. I did love it. But come on, Brian Bird, you guys didn't end there. Like, considering the sweeping shot, the music, I would think, oh, because okay. Also, you're going to show a scene or something from Hope Valley 1874. So I'm like, I see the time because I did the thing. I'm like, how much time left? I was probably enough time for credits, showing the extra scene or whatever. From that, I'm like, no. I'm like, Literally, I was like, what? Because you guys never. Okay, so we had the revelation before the season started, or during the season, Lori Loughlin's comeback. So we knew she was
Yes.
14. So we knew she was.
Yes.
So we knew she wasn't in season 13. Well, we were wrong. Because the very last scene, it's good to be home. And there she was, looking beautiful as ever. And I was like, what? Then it ended. That's a cliffhanger.
Yes. What
That's
a
a cliffhanger.
oh, it's so rich. I was so happy when we knew that was going to come, and
But,
it was
Brian, I have to ask you, this is literally a logistical, right, a storyline point question. Like, seriously,
yeah,
you could have waited, just had her come season 14.
yeah.
When did you guys decide that last
I
scene, like Bobby in the shower on Dallas, like that last scene, when you decide to like do like the deal? I mean, I'm seriously, you could have waited. You could be like, we're good. But that was you gave us a tease, like a literal visual tease.
yeah, it's a best way to promote season 14 for sure. Like, right? Uh, but I give my hats off to my partner Brad Cravoy on
Oh,
this. Our
okay,
our
Brad.
our partner on this whole series. Brad said, "What if we could bring her on right at the end?" And Michael and he pitched it to us first, and we said, "Are you kidding? That's awesome. That's
Oh,
huge."
okay,
Yeah. No, we said, "No, it's huge. What a fantastic finish to
yeah,
season 13. It's going to be a great season anyway. What a fantastic thing to do." So we knew it was going to happen
okay,
for quite a while.
okay,
How to do it, though, there are
okay.
a lot of iterations of how to do this, like
Oh,
a lot of different ideas about how to do it, you
what are
know.
a couple of them? Just like a couple, just for this show, you can tell.
Well, just one of the alternates was we finish after the engagement. Elizabeth is basking in the glow of looking at her ring, and she's got LJ there with her, and there's a knock on the door, and we think, oh, it's Nathan. It's Nathan. He comes back for another kiss or whatever. And it's Lori.
Oh my God, that would be good too. That would be good also.
Yeah. Yeah. But we wanted to have it be, you know, it's not just returning to Elizabeth, it's
Oh,
returning to the place,
right. Yes.
coming back for the first time in all these years.
Yeah.
So that was season 6.
I know.
So 7 years.
Yeah. No, I know. Yes.
And so that was the goal. We knew that was the goal. But how to pull it off, like without it leaking,
Yeah. You did
that's
leave.
that's that's the better story.
Yeah.
So how that happened was we didn't shoot it during the season.
I was saying you did Bobby in the shower. Later on, somewhere else, he did an Ivory soap commercial. Good morning, Ivory's. Like, so you did something like that, didn't you? So you shot it somewhere else, didn't you?
No, it was shot there. It was shot later. It was after we wrapped,
Oh, how funny! Oh, I love it. Oh, I love this. Okay.
right? And
Okay.
so it never graced a script.
Oh.
It graced some outline pages.
Okay.
Joy's outlines for the final episode, but so that we could preview it, for the stakeholders. But
Oh.
we didn't even want the cast to feel that. Now, obviously, they knew later that it was going to happen, but yes, and it was also a scheduling issue too for Lori, right?
Okay.
So literally, that's the magic of our business. It was shot after we wrapped.
So
So
she only really had one line. So I guess you say, "Girls say this." Look this way, say that. I guess and she's a pro, so I'm super like, okay.
yeah, we didn't see anything besides the car coming into town.
Oh,
It was a quiet, there's not a lot of pedestrians there or nothing.
oh,
Like, so it happened later, right? So anyway, but for me, like huge home run, like huge home run for the show, for all of us who were, lobbying forever for this to happen.
yes.
Uh, And I think he made it even better by the fact that the network had already let the cat out of the bag that she was joining for season 14, right? Because nobody's seeing it coming.
No,
Nobody, right? And it's like such a good sleight of hand. Like,
yeah, yeah.
so for us on the side of making the show, like we're just like, and when I saw it cut together for the first time, and it never, and all the other times I saw it, it made me gasp every time.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
There was a upswell in my soul when that happened. And I was talking to our party's admins about this, and they said, "Oh yeah, no, for all of them too. Like it's just there's this like swell that comes upon you, right?" And I think we've had other gasp-worthy moments
Oh yes,
right on the show before. This is right up there with them all.
it is. No, it totally, no, it totally is. And I'm going to say this out loud because I can. And it's I'm loving that, and this also aligns with the show.
Mm,
When she was announced, I saw nothing. I saw, and I'm pretty out there.
yeah,
There are probably some negative comments. I didn't see them really. I saw all positive
yeah,
and second chances, and she's part of the family. Like I saw all those wordings in,
right.
online, and I thought, but that's in line with the show. The show's
Yeah,
about stories and second, third chances, and people
yeah,
change line arcs and on the show. So I think everyone's just kind of like, we're glad she's part of the family. I mean, she's part of the family. Now I gotta ask
yes.
a question though. I know you can't pay. You can't. I know folks can't tell us, but I gotta say it out loud. Is Cody far behind?
I'll just say that I can't talk about it.
I mean,
It's definitely a
or Becky. I mean, I look like
yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
Yes.
It's definitely part of the conversation, and I can't promise, but it's definitely part of the conversation.
I know. I said that. No, I knew because I just had to say. I just had to say it out loud because
Yeah,
they're all fabric of the. They're all fabrics of the show.
100%.
That's part of her, and she has such a rich past on the show.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, there's no way that whether the characters show up or not is still to be determined. But the you you
nobody mentioned.
you better bet that they're going to be invoked.
Oh yeah. Nobody probably mentioned.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
the this too, which is instant marketing. When she was announced, so we knew she wasn't going to be in season 13, but we're already thinking what season 14 going to be. And okay, and I know folks, they're out there. They want her and Gowan together. I get that. So I guess we'll have to watch and find out. Like
what
what's going to happen.
what yeah, let's watch and find out. But I can pretty much guarantee that will be story business that must be covered in some way.
I like that story business. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, if I'm talking about, I'm just going. That's something that works. But I'm saying, so that makes so you're right. It was from a marketing standpoint, that was kind of smart. They laid it out a little early, so we're looking forward to already season 14 coming because
Right.
we're looking forward to it anyway. But now we have another extra thing storyline
Yeah.
wise to say, well, how's she gonna fit back
Yes.
into town? What does that mean for all the friendships? Like just as she's part of this town. I mean,
Yeah, the ripple effects. Like, what does it mean for Minnie's Cafe?
I already thought I thought about that already. I thought about that. I thought about that.
Think about that. The sign was just unveiled.
I know. I totally thought about that. I was like, oh my God. I was like, yeah, I thought about that. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody was pitching little buttons for the little extra bonus scene, extra ending, scene. Like, oh, what if Lori turns and looks and goes, Minnie's?
Like,
But we thought we shouldn't, sort of rain on the parade of the beautiful emotion of,
yeah,
I'm
not that,
back.
not yet. But that's but just that, and just it's just you're saying, but aren't Rosemary and Elizabeth best friends? What does that mean for that friendship? And
Right.
so it's a lot of wonderful possibilities. Again,
Yeah,
season 14, Brian, season 14.
14. Yeah.
being
Pretty
invigorated,
crazy.
being
Pretty
invigorated
amazing.
by something.
Yes.
They're injecting something new in there, something new, old news, new old slang.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
yeah.
100%.
Okay.
And you can, and I know we're not talking about 1874,
No,
Hope Valley,
that's my next
1874.
question. That's
Oh,
my next.
okay. All right. All right. Fair enough.
Okay.
So
So
there are Easter eggs ahoy to come for in season 14, but then over on 40 years earlier, there are Easter eggs being planted, right? 40 years earlier
yes,
for the future. So
I figured that part. I said they're gonna have to tie it. To, I mean, because it's the beginning of it. So okay, just once and for all, let's just like I said, everybody watch the show. You'll get all your answers, I'm sure. But just once and for all, folks are like, why is it not named Coal Valley 18 side? I don't think
right.
I think it's a marketing thing. It's more kind of like it's a Wayne Cost to Heart related thing. I'm thinking it's kind of that, but you kind of explain. So please explain to people just briefly, just why it's
Well, yeah, people are welcome to see it as nice marketing because Hope Valley's a nicer name for a place,
right,
right?
right.
However, however, we have to acknowledge that it was Coal Valley for the first few seasons. So, but maybe this is just me being a pot stirrer.
You,
Maybe it wasn't always called Coal Valley.
yeah,
Think about that.
I do. I'm thinking about
Because there's a coal company that takes over,
right.
and it's a company town. They have company housing.
It all
Maybe
burned.
maybe that has something to do with it.
It all goes wrong. That's our series. You know
Right.
that.
Right.
So
So maybe renaming the town from Coal Valley to Hope Valley is because they're just going back to the original. I don't know. How about that as an idea? We'll see where it goes.
we'll see where it goes. And I like that, Brian. I do, and that's good, right? That's actually you're making a good point, actually. Now you're tying in the later this series with that going. Yeah, it was a they probably moved in, changed it to Cove. Yeah, okay, I get what's going on. I get what's going on. So I get what's going on. I
And
should
Coal Valley is associated with a coal company, so
yeah,
that's got kind of a dark vibe about it if you think about that.
yes.
So
And folks, I did watch the first episode. I'm doing the after show for that too, 1874.
awesome,
So
awesome.
the episode will come out tomorrow. I wanted to give When Calls the Heart the parent show its full due these couple of days.
Yes,
Tomorrow that after show will come out, and I will tell you what I think about it. And I liked it, but I'll tell you I'll do my usual what I always.
yes,
But I
yes.
did like it, Brian. Congratulations on that too. I did like it.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yes,
we're happy. We're excited for
Jill Hennessy. I'm like, how do you Jill Hennessy? I'm like, Crossing
it.
Jordan was my show. You don't even understand.
Yeah,
I'm like,
And Neil McDonough,
I know.
right?
Other great actors been around forever. I'm like, I was like, okay. I'm like, okay, I'm in. I'm totally in.
No, we're super pumped about the potential for that, and so far we're hearing only good vibes from the Hardys, right? That have seen it. We're feeling really good about that, and what I also love the magic of Hollywood because uh, we're shooting it on that ranch. Now, not all of it. We
Right,
got off the ranch,
right,
went up to Squamish and got some beautiful,
right.
like amazing footage in other places. But it's cool to see, how the boarding house that Rebecca has bought for the first, if I'm giving spoilers, sorry that for people who haven't seen it, but it's fun to see that old building and then go on the inside and see what it looked like all decrepit like that
Right.
and to realize that that structure is probably going to someday be the Queen of Hearts.
Oh, how? Okay, okay. Not to say anything. Okay, okay.
That's a big big spoiler there,
I know.
but
I was like, And now I'm like, I see. I'm like, yeah, yeah, okay, yes,
But
okay.
but you can give away spoilers when they happen 40 years
I know,
later.
I know, I know, right? So, you know what's gonna happen, folks? That's what Queen of Hearts. What do you think? Yeah, they say very. But I love season one of HB. Okay, good. Thank you. They like again. Pia says she loved it. Yeah, it's it's good, folks. It's again, it's more of that charm and more of that, but it's just it's a and the actors are good. I mean, just it's good. So it's good.
And you know what I do appreciate Hallmark Plus wanting to be a little more it's a little bit it has the Yellowstone feel about it,
Yeah, it does.
right? It's a little grittier,
Yeah, it does.
the whiskey runners and the gold miners, and there's and I loved Constable Vaughn showing up again, and they're looking at this guy in the red serge and going, "Who are you?
Yes,
What are you?
that was
What are
funny.
you?" Yeah,
Yes.
I love that because it's tracing the beginning of the Canadian Royal Canadian Mounted Police and Northwest Mounted Police, and I love that. So you get the origin story of how the Mounties got started too.
I'm excited.
So
I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited to follow it. I already talked to some of the stars, and I want them to come on. So we're gonna have a good time with that one,
nice.
folks. We're gonna have a good
Yes.
time, guys. It's
Super
more.
good casting. Super good casting.
I'm gonna say it's
Yeah.
very much more hearty goodness. I'm just telling you. I'm like, I'm busy. Normally, this is the last of it. I see you guys next year. I got stuff going on. I got stuff. I got work to do. Brian Worth put me to work.
Yes.
I got work to do. So
Yeah. Well, we're so honored to that we're having these conversations and that there's hunger
yes,
out there for more of what we all do together. So
yes, that's very true.
love
Brian
it.
Bird,
Yeah.
thanks for coming on again as always.
It's the best, man. I'll do this till the end of my life if you're up for it. So
I
love
am.
it.
But season 20 for sure. We're gonna be here
Yeah.
season 20.
Okay.
Talking about it.
I'm,
We got,
i
I mean, you said it a long time ago. I'm holding you to it.
we're gonna crack open a bottle of
Yes.
champagne and when
Oh
we
my
get
God.
there. So
Funny. Okay, I'm gonna say, folks, if it gets to season 20, we'll do it in person.
I will come. I'll come do it with you in
There we
person.
go.
Yep,
No
that
studio,
sounds good.
no studio.
Uh,
We'll do that
yes.
20, and that's in 6 years or so. We do that. Okay. Oh, so before we go out, when do you start filming 14?
Well, we've got this. As you may have heard, we got this baby boom happening on
Oh,
the
that's right.
show.
Oh my gosh, that's right. So many. Oh my, that's right. Oh my, there's
so
so
I, I, so we the show is about family,
yes, it
right?
is.
So family comes first, and so we're not gonna, put these actors in a uh, hardship situation. So our feeling is it'll probably start a little later this year, but we're also not going to start it, so late that they're out there like with their breath in the air, freezing, like in Hope Valley, 1874. They shot in some of the coldest
Did they really?
climate. Oh my goodness. Those are yeoman actors, man, and crew that made that happen. So I think usually we'll get started, early July.
Say yeah, yes,
I
yeah.
think I think we're going to give our new parents a little bit more time to get acquainted with their youngsters. So
It's
yeah,
like many coming little Hardy babies. Little
yes,
love it. I do.
right.
Everybody thank Brian Bird, please, for joining me, of course, this year. We'll do this again next year, season 14. And again, for this after show, remember, whenever there's news, I will come back on and talk to you guys. I may do some rewatches. I do interviews sometimes after the season, because then I can discuss the whole season with people. So I'll probably do the usuals like Pascal and everybody, and then I'll talk to them and come on. So just follow this after show. And if you haven't watched, if this is your first time watching me, I got all 13 seasons on JLJ Media on YouTube. I have it by seasons, by playlist. So you just go When Comes to Heart. And if you see some women sitting next to me, that's Marissa Serafini, Maria Provenzano. They're the first, like, God, 9 seasons with me. And the rest is me. I do. I've kept it going ever since. So just check those out, and you'll see some of your favorite stars and writers and producers and directors have come through my channel. And I'm a Hardy for life, and he knows that. You guys all know that I'm a Hardy for life. Shout out to the When Comes to Heart page on Facebook. I watched it grow from like 1,000 people to now nearly 100,000. Those admin, I love all those ladies. They work very hard. They allow me to put this on their channel, and I appreciate them very, 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 very much. Should I say that?
Me
Uh,
too.
I
Me
love you
too.
guys. All right, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you again next time.
Bye, Hardee's. Bye, James.
Second.